Because all you kids don't know how to build your airsoft gun, Daddy Cisco is going to show you how to do it. What's going on, you guys? My name is Cisco, and today we are going to be starting a new series on us building a custom gun from the ground up. Now, the reason we are doing this is because we get a lot of comments and messages on how to upgrade your airsoft gun because you just don't know how. And obviously there aren't enough videos on YouTube to show you, so here we are. Now, before we get started in this, I do have to say, do not void your warranty. I am fairly sure everything that we are going to be doing during this upgrade series is going to void your warranty. So if you want to do any of these things, wait until your warranty is done and then do the upgrades. It'll save you a lot of time, money, and effort, especially if you're in the warranty period and the gun decides to zuck itself before it ends. You know, if you remove the orange flash hider or modify anything, that could be a big no-no for you, and then you're gonna have to invest all the money up front anyways. So we're going to be starting off with easier upgrades toward the beginning of this series, and then in later episodes we're going to be doing more difficult upgrades. So follow along if you can. We're going to try and make it as easy to understand and do as possible. So in the first episode we are going to be upgrading the inner barrel, the bucking, and the hop-up unit. Now, the reason you want to upgrade the inner barrel is because typically out of the box, most companies include a 6.06 millimeter inner barrel. So this means the diameter of the inner barrel is quite wide. So when the BB is passing through it, there is a lot of extra space for the BB to bounce around. Now, we are going to be installing a smaller diameter inner barrel, so it's going to have less space for the BB to bounce around and keep it on a straighter path. This will increase your accuracy, your groupings, overall with your airsoft gun. Tighter is better. That's a life lesson. Now, the next question is, why do we want to upgrade the bucking? Out of the box, buckings from the manufacturers are okay. They get the gun working, but they don't maximize the full potential of the barrel. So, to put it shortly, the bucking will push into the barrel, and as the BB is being fired, it will make contact with the top of the BB, and it will add a backspin. This backspin will determine your range, and the contact that the BB makes with the nub inside the hop-up bucking will determine how much backspin the BB will have. And typically you do want to have a wider nub inside to make more contact with the BB so you get more consistent backspin. The last thing we're going to be upgrading is the hop-up unit. This is kind of like the heart of the airsoft gun. This does multiple things in order to make the gun fire. Number one, it holds the barrel in place because, you know, having your barrel slide out of the gun, you know, that's bad. You won't be able to fire and you lost your barrel. Number two, it makes contact with the magazine, most of them, in order for the BBs to actually be fed into the unit to be shot out of the gun. Third is going to be the air nozzle will pass through right here. Oh, I'll show it on this side, right here, so that it actually feeds the BB into the chamber of the barrel and allows the gun to fire. And then also pushes the air out of the barrel as well. And then lastly is going to be the arm that you are able to adjust that actually presses into the bucking that allows you to give backspin to your BB. The heart of the airsoft gun. Now, a lot of airsoft guns might still come with this hop-up unit. This is the original dial style hop-up unit, and it's outdated. Airsoft technology has come a long way from its humble beginnings, and with this design, it's just not as good as it could be. Now, it gets the job done, but you aren't getting the best performance. Now, with its design, it uses this gear system to turn the arm and push it down into the hop-up window. Over time, after shooting BBs, it adds pressure to the arm and will slowly undo itself because of the way that this system is designed. Now, newer systems like the rotary style hop-up unit will allow you to set the hop-up and forget about it because it won't undo itself because of the way it is designed. So obviously we're going to be upgrading an M4 today. The M4 is the most used gun in Airsoft. This is the Apex Fast Attack polymer version. This follows the Tokyo Marui standard. Most airsoft companies do, some don't. APS, Ares, KWA. So if you have any of the brands that aren't exactly like the Tokyo Marui version, you might not be able to modify everything in those guns. However, this one should be able to accept all Tokyo Marui parts. So let's get into it. Before we upgrade the inner barrel bucking hop-up unit, we need to learn how to take it out of the gun. So with this, you're going to need to separate the upper receiver. Most guns do come with some type of detent system where all you have to do is punch out the pin with a pen or a screwdriver, and it'll slide all the way through and lock into place. This particular model has a Allen screw here. All you need to do is unscrew that, and then you're going to need to punch it out. If you do have this style, I do not recommend using anything that goes inside and punching it out because you can damage the threads. So use a punch or a pen or something plastic where you can just tap that out really lightly and pull it out the rest of the way. From here, you should be able to pull off the upper receiver. Typically, you're gonna have to pull off the charging handle a little bit, and then it'll slide right out. Then, set that aside, and then all you have to do is slide your hop-up assembly out of the gun, and you are done. Voila! As you can see, both of the hop-up units are very different in design. The original dial style uses a parallel system, and the rotary style actually uses a perpendicular design. So when you are adjusting the wheel, it won't back out when you are firing the BB. Now, the Apex Fast Attack actually already comes with the rotary style hop-up unit, so we are not going to be changing it, but there are aftermarket rotary style hop-up units that you can buy. But like I just said, this one comes with it. If it comes with the rotary style hop-up unit, don't change it. It's a waste of money. They're all pretty much the same. Okay, so we are going to need to remove the inner barrel and bucking from the hop-up unit. So first thing we're going to want to do is turn off the hop-up unit to make sure that the arm isn't being depressed into the barrel, preventing it from sliding out. Then, me personally, I like to twist the inner barrel a little bit to create a little bit of space for me to slide a flathead screwdriver in here and help get the C-clip off. Now, you want to be very careful because it'll fly off, but you can actually crack that clip, and I'm going to retrieve that right now. All right, so this is the C-clip of the hop-up unit. As you can see, there are little slots here that will line up with the inner barrel to lock it in place. And once that is removed, you want to verify that your hop-up is completely off, and then you're going to want to slide the barrel and bucking out. Okay, so now the bucking came off of the barrel and the barrel slid completely out. So what you're going to want to do is remove that ring that holds the barrel in place, helps stabilizes it, and then you're going to want to use a flathead, really small bucking or a screwdriver to push the bucking out of the barrel or hop-up unit. I can't get my words right, guys. Okay, so because this bucking isn't really needed, I am just going to toss that away. And now we have room to install our newer bucking and inner barrel. I have the Action Army 6.01 Type 4 inner barrel and the Modify flat hop bucking, the hard version, because this gun is going to be shooting around 400 FPS, which is what we need. God, that smells like ass though. Oh dear God. Dear. It oh God, I don't know what they used, but that smells gross. All right, now some companies like Apex actually include a 6.03 Type 4 inner barrel, depending. They might include a 6.02 or something slightly more tighter than the standard 6.06. Now, if they include a Type 4 barrel out of the box, you may be wondering why you would want to change the barrel. And another reason other than the diameter is going to be the material. So most companies will come with a brass inner barrel, and it's very hefty, but it can vibrate, causing some inconsistencies in accuracy, as to where a steel barrel will not vibrate as much. Some companies even use aluminum, which is actually even lighter than brass and vibrate a lot. So, other than the diameter, like I just said, the material will help improve the accuracy as well. Now, if you don't want to do a barrel swap, if you want to save some money, you can still keep the tight bore inner barrel from your airsoft gun and still swap out the bucking to still get a better increase in performance. So in this airsoft gun, we are going to be installing a 6.01 tight bore inner barrel into our airsoft gun. Typically, we don't recommend this type of a bore unless you are a sniper or a DMR that's only going to be doing semi-automatic. 6.03 is what we typically recommend. It gets the job done, performs very well, especially if you do burst fire or full auto. But this is our airsoft gun. We're going to do whatever the hell we want, and we are stuffing a 6.01 tight bore into this gun. We are going to install the new bucking. This one is the modified flat hop, as I said before. The way you're going to want to install it is there is a groove at the bottom of the barrel, and you are going to have a groove on the inside of the bucking. Now, you're going to want to line up that groove with the channel in the bucking and slide that right on. And then, perfect. You have installed your new bucking onto your new barrel. Now we need to install this into your hop-up unit. To make this easy, we're going to spray a little bit of silicone oil just on the bucking, not on the inside. This will help us slide it into the new hop-up, or not the new hop-up unit, but the hop-up unit fairly easily. So there isn't any resistance coming from the rubber itself. And then from here, you're going to reinstall your hop-up C-clip. Make sure that gets lined up properly. Boom. Press it into place, and you are good to go. However, like I just said, this is a flat hop, so we will need to install the flat hop nub into this hop-up unit. Now that the barrel is in place, we do have the spacer ring that goes over the barrel and slides into the end of the hop-up unit right there. This helps stabilize the barrel and keeps it from wobbling, which you don't want to do in the airsoft gun. From here, we're going to need to punch out this pin right here, hold that in place, and then we're going to need to slide out the hop-up arm. So from here, just gonna use that flat head. You can push it out. Sometimes you need to just let it fall. So this is the stock hop-up nub right there. It's a little barrel right there versus the flat hop nub. Now these are the two that would make contact with the BB. As you can see, this one has more surface area than just the rounded barrel. So the way you are going to install it is by taking your hop-up arm and sliding it into place right here, just like that. Now you can use some type of thicker lubricating grease to hold it in place. I will not be doing that. All right, so once you have that lined up in place, you're going to need to line up the hop-up arm, the back of it, with the channel here. Now, I typically like to turn it on to the max setting because this will allow you to insert it easier and slide the arm in a little bit better. So we're just going to line this up really quick, like so. And I'm going to try my best to get this on screen, so that'll slide right into that notch. And then that, I'll just leave it right there in the window. So there, pushes down, that'll line up. So from here, you're just going to want to add a little bit of tension so you can get your post back into place, and you have successfully installed your flat hop. And then I'm just going to want to do a little barrel check to make sure that it is operating correctly, which it is. It looks like it is completely adjustable, centered, and perfect. So now that we have the hop-up barrel assembly completely set up, it's all that's left to do is install it back into the upper receiver. So you're going to literally do the reverse and slide the barrel into the upper receiver, and then slide it all the way down and Make sure that the spring is working properly. And uh-oh, looks like we used too long of an inner barrel. Now guys, if you want to use or get a correct length of inner barrel compared to your original gun, we recommend you disassemble your gun the same way that we described earlier, and measure your barrel and then find the exact barrel that you need. Now, we do recommend measuring it in millimeters, but if you're not able to, get a ruler, measure it in inches, and then do a Google conversion to find out what roughly millimeters that you need. So this is a carbine length barrel, so it's roughly 363 millimeters in length. But this one is purposely done a little bit longer because we are going to be doing a outer barrel, rail, and suppressor to the new gun. Mock suppressor, ATF guy at home. Now all we have to do is reassemble the upper receiver. So it's actually very simple. Do it in reverse, like I said. If it does get caught on the gearbox here, just go ahead and pull the charging handle back and lift it up. Before pressing it together, make sure that your hop-up unit is properly aligned, and just reinstall that pin and you're good to go. So after this, all that's left to do is give it a test fire. So we are going to go out to the range and see the performance increase from a stock 6.06 inner barrel and standard bucking with and compare it to the new 6.01 with flat hop. Alright guys, that is how you upgrade your inner barrel bucking and hop-up unit for those of you who don't have a rotary style hop-up system. Now this is something that we do recommend doing other than spending your money on like a rail system or an optic. Changing out the bucking barrel hop-up system will improve the performance of the gun and might make you like your gun that much more before even spending money on accessories. So, thank you guys for watching. Stay tuned. The next thing we're going to be doing is changing out the barrel and rail system. Well, handguard into a rail system. Stay tuned for that. Subscribe for more content. Give us a thumbs up if you like the video. Share this with all your friends who need tech advice or you're sick of just dealing with them. My name is Cisco. We upload every Wednesdays and Fridays, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.